What's up, guys? I'm Daniel Knightley, and this is Knightley Disclosure. So I've just watched the Jesse Michels interview with Jake Barber, and again, more bombshell allegations coming out of there. It's just the level of evidence now and all the witness testimony is just getting silly at this point. And as I've said before, if this was a court case, it would have been won 1,000 times over already. But extraordinary claims do require extraordinary evidence. However, I just want to do some quick bullet points, or cliff notes if you like, of all the points that I want to pull away from this 3-hour long interview, which was nothing short of just fantastic to listen to and watch. The first thing that really caught my attention is that Jake Barber alluded to approximately 8 classes of UAP.
We have classes of UAP. There's a number of classes and categories that we...
How many?
More than 8.
Do you know all
more
of
than
them?
8. Yes.
Can you list them?
No. Maybe soon we can.
Which I find really, really interesting, because we've heard that there may be 1 or 2 that's seen a lot, but he's saying 8 classes? Wow. Again, incredible. The director of AARO, that's the All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, has been briefed and has been provided with data and evidence to support the claims that not only is psionics real, but they can summon these things whenever they want, including the egg during the day, which they show in the documentary, or at least this interview. So he didn't allude to which director of AARO that was, whether it was Kosolski or the previous director that was removed in the form of Sean Kirkpatrick. We don't know who that is yet. I have heard actually that it was Kirkpatrick, but maybe he buried the evidence, because I believe that Kosolski was looking for it and couldn't find it anywhere, which is equally as interesting. He then goes on to talk about giving institutions the chance to accept the facts and reconcile with it.
You know, in the last 5 years, all of this has been disclosed to, I've spent a lot of time speaking. One thing I wanted to do was to do this the right way, was to give our institutions and our authorities a chance to hear this stuff first and to reconcile it and to do the right thing with it, and to primarily give me guidance on what to do with it moving forward. So, everything I'm telling you and more has been shared with Congress in a SCIF, in a top secret TSCI environment.
A lot of this data is being pushed into institutions to make them understand that life is a lot more than we previously conceived, and they are providing dead to rights evidence that it's real. So I think what we're doing here is going through a Copernicus crisis, whereby, he very famously said, look, there's a lot more going on out in our universe, out in our solar system, than what I think we currently understand. And, the notion for hundreds, maybe even thousands of years before that, was that the sun revolved around our Earth. That's kind of what's going on here, with a lot of cognitive dissonance as well. He said there were 2 types of summoning systems, machine-based and man-based. That's very interesting, which means they're using machines to summon these things and then bring them down to reverse engineer them or do what they will with them. Or they're using psionic assets, as they call them.
There are 2 types of summoning that can be done that we've proven works, and we're still working with. There's machine-based summoning systems, and there's man-based summoning systems. Machine-based summoning systems are, without going into details, are signals and energy systems that can be turned on or activated that summon UAP activity, or that UAP are attracted to. And I say, again, remembering what UAP means, it's a very broad term. It's unidentified anomalous phenomenon. So unidentified anomalous shit shows up. That's a pretty broad category. Now, in order to be effective at serving as a PA, you could think of consciousness as a field. Don't think of it as this superficial woo-woo thing. Like, it's literally like the World Wide Web. It's like the internet. It's always there. We can't see it. It's full of information and exciting things, but point to it. I don't see it here.
Yep.
Right? So where is it? You have to be able to tap into it. You need something like a Wi-Fi signal to get there. So individuals that have this gift are people that have been trained and have the talent to serve as a Wi-Fi to tap into the consciousness field where everything in the universe seems to exist or have its presence.
Jake also talked about Michael Herrera and his claims at a whistleblower conference back in Washington a couple of years ago, and he was tasked as a red team member. So Jake was the guy that was tasked with shutting up whistleblowers. And then he had a change of heart when he heard Michael's testimony and was like, hey, this is one of my guys. What am I doing? This is a brother in arms. Why am I doing this? So I thought that was very courageous for him to say, but Jake wasn't always the good guy in essence on this stuff, which I found very interesting.
There were several whistleblowers that had decided to come forward in that environment and share their stories. So we were actually sent there on behalf of our employer to look for whistleblowers that we were trying to basically report to the FBI and get arrested. Because at that time, I was in this weird place between becoming a whistleblower or rounding up the whistleblowers and shutting them up, because there were good reasons and bad reasons to be a whistleblower. And so
you were at this press event red teaming, basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
You are trying to maybe gather intel on people who might become a liability for the program.
Yeah.
And
they then went on to talk about that private aerospace is completely in charge of this. They hold most of the real estate that's associated with this stuff, and they effectively have complete autonomy over everything, including all the people that work within it.
So it sounds like we have, by your account, and again, this is fully speculation. I realize you don't know this, but like thousands of UFOs?
I think the problem is saying we. That's a big problem, because who's we? We don't have shit. Most of this stuff is kept in very niche private aerospace. And this is why the government doesn't quite have a handle on it.
Congress, and I quote here, he said, we're out of control and are completely neutered. When Jake approached them about helping him, they immediately said, no, we need your help. There's people showing up at our houses. We don't know what to do. Can you provide security detail? And he's like, wait, what? I'm coming to you guys with this.
That was probably one of the most discouraging experiences of my life, because within minutes of being there and asking for help, they were begging for my help. It's a problem and it's sad, but our Congress is not in control. They are they're ignorant and neutered when it comes to the subject matter. For the most part, they're ignorant and neutered. And where they're not ignorant and neutered, they're corrupt and arrogant.
Congress are completely incapable and out of control. And there were also claims that some Congress members have been intimidated by some of these gatekeepers into keeping their mouths shut. So that is very, very concerning. Very, very concerning indeed. There's a lot in here. And again, if we get more stuff like this, where the entire function of the Skywatchers program, or at least the privately funded operation that Jake and his team are running, is to share data and show people, and by the way, they have Gary Nolan on the team as well, by the way, as a scientific surveyor of the situation to prove the validity of all of this. But if we've got all of these things going on, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. So really, really interesting. I want to leave you with this, though, which is what killed me the most. He was asked about, is he not in fear of his life, of some of these boogeymen coming out and trying to get rid of him, delete him, kill him. And he responded and he said, look,
why am I not afraid that someone's going to try and silence me with death? Well, first of all, if they wanted to and were capable of doing it, if they had the will and skill to do it, they would have done it already. They also, Lou wouldn't be here, Dave wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be here. They would have done it already. You don't want to show up at my house and think you're going to be successful with brute force, because that's going to go south for you really quickly. Or you don't want to approach me anywhere in public. You're going to have to really do something creative, because I'm not afraid of the boogeyman. I am the boogeyman.
And I will leave that with you guys to decipher what that means for you on your own terms. That's it for now, guys. A lot of questions, I'm sure, on this, so please leave some comments and stuff in the box below, and I will do my best to answer them with what I know on this. You heard it first from DK, and I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you very much.